Epic rap battles of history. Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Begin.
So I bought into the meme and saw a double feature of Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's right, I'm a nerd for the Barbenheimer thing, sue me. But nevertheless, I was fully expecting to both laugh at the drastic contrast between these two seemingly different films, but I'm surprised to find that the films are in fact very similar, in the fact that they both destroyed me emotionally. So we started out with Oppenheimer, and I really enjoyed it. While The Dark Knight is still my favorite Nolan film, Oppenheimer is probably up there as my second favorite of his filmography. This has a lot of the hallmarks of his previous works, but I think he really refined it all down to a perfect formula in this film. And yes, that was a bit of a chemistry joke, but it's fine. Easily the highlight for me here is the cast. It's definitely Nolan's most stacked roster. Cillian Murphy is phenomenal in this movie, and the early Oscar buzz for him is completely justified, and I could easily see him being the leading contender this year. Emily Blunt and Robert Downey Jr. could also pull some Best Supporting Actor noms for their roles as well, but I just loved that most of the cast was made up of those guys. You know, the actors who maybe aren't in a lot of stuff or haven't been in too many films in a while. Josh Hartnett, Jack Quaid, Josh Peck, Dane DeHaan. The fact that I live in a world where Roderick and Bernard are in a Christopher Nolan movie means life can't be all that bad. I think there's also some really great directing from Nolan here, in particular the scenes where we really see into the mind of Oppenheimer. The final scene alone is probably one of the best film scenes of the entire year so far, and it chilled me to the bone in the best way possible. And once again, you just have to appreciate that Nolan is a director who likes to film as much as possible in camera. The nuke scene is quite visceral, and it's much more effective that it wasn't done entirely in a computer. With all that being said though, I will say there are a few things that hold me back from giving this 5 stars across the board. While I just complimented Nolan's directing, I think a lot of the dialogue scenes are shot pretty flatly, which you could say are to contrast the bigger moments, but I've never been a fan of the shot reverse shot, and it's pretty much how every one of them is done. I will also say that with any movie over 3 hours, it really needs to justify its length, and while I wasn't really feeling the runtime for the majority of the film, I'd say the final 20 minutes drag on a little too much. I feel like the movie was doing such a great job building up to the first test of the bomb, and once that moment happens, it kind of loses steam. There's still a lot of great stuff here after that, but the movie didn't have me fully enraptured like it had up to that point. Still though, Oppenheimer is a really excellent film, and if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, you're going to love this one. I then saw Barbie, and man, do I have so much I want to say here. Barbie is so many things, which both encapsulates the movie and the character, which is kind of clever in a way. It's a hilarious comedy that's also a beautiful exploration of womanhood, the role of women in society, what it means to be perfect, and for all the whiny babies out there on the internet complaining that this movie is anti-man, you are both completely uncomfortable being critiqued at all and also didn't pay any attention to the movie you just watched. While there are plenty of jokes at the expense of men, it's much more a criticism of toxic masculinity and showing that men in the Barbie world are serving the role that women unfortunately have to play in the real world. And if this movie really upsets you, you need to get a life.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
There's so many powerful scenes in this film, and so much of that is carried by Margot Robbie, who continues to prove that she is one of the best working actors today. I mean, the scene on the bench or the final scene with Ruth, my god, this is a Barbie movie. And Greta Gerwig really said, "I'ma make this the hardest shit you've ever seen." Ryan Gosling is of course a highlight, but I just think similar to Oppenheimer, this is just a fantastic cast from top to bottom. The only one who felt a little out of place was Will Ferrell. The whole plot with the Mattel CEOs probably could have been cut, but it still gave way to some really great jokes, so I can forgive it. And that's the thing about Barbie. It's just really astounding that a movie that very easily could have just been an ad for the toy or a simple fish out of water movie, everyone involved went the extra mile and made a movie that knows it's going to really mean a lot to some people and actually gives the audience something to think about long after they leave the theater. Barbie is a great movie and one that I very much would like to check out again very soon. I know that my talk on Barbie and both these movies were kind of rambly and weren't as structured as some of my other reviews, but I really just wanted to get my thoughts out because these are two really solid movies and ones that I really hope people check out, especially Barbie. It's such a fun time, but it's also a movie that really does mean something, and for that, I can't recommend it enough.
Humans only have one ending.
Get that Barbie!
Ideas live forever.
Also, Alan is my favorite. Obviously.